Hello, hello. I am Alicia Richard, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I am just out in nature today, as I am a lot of times recording my content. So, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss out on any more amazing content. And also make sure that you watch this video until the end. All right, so here is the thing. I am doing a giveaway and I am not sure how I want this giveaway to go. However, every single channel has goals. So leave in the comments below, how do you want the giveaway to go? As an audience, right? So I am, of course, having goals for my YouTube channel, trying to increase my watch time, and I am doing a giveaway. Is one really good giveaway. I have it up here on the screen, kind of just to show you all what I will be giving away as a way to say thank you for watching the videos all the way through. So again, leave a suggestion down below on what you think should be the guidelines for the giveaway. All right, so let me hop right on into today's content. And yes, I have my handy dandy iPad that is available because you know what? Sometimes I be missing my points. Okay, so I really do want to make sure that I stay on track. Now, this video is all about the things to do before you make the commitment for Sister Locks. So if you already have your Sister Locks, then this is a great video for you to send to someone who's thinking about Sister Locks. And if you don't have your Sister Locks already installed, then I would highly suggest for you to watch this video all the way to the end because I am giving some good information. Okay, all right. So when it comes to your Sister Locks, always make sure that you go to your consultation. Go to your consultation. Like, your loctician should have a consultation with you so that they could see your hair, look at your hair texture, all of that. A lot of times, even with the consultation as well, they may do like the test locks in your hair. So please make sure that you are going to the consultation. Make sure that you know how far your loctician is from where you live, right? Because I know for me, my locticians, or all of my locticians, have lived, or I travel consistently an hour every single time to get my hair retightened. So my commute total is 2 hours. So think about your commute, think about your work time, think about your flexibility, think about all of that when you are looking for your consultant. Okay, so when it comes to your consultation, make sure that you know where you are going before you get there, know how far they are from you, and really just have that estimated time, because I know that a lot of consultants, especially a lot of Sister Lock consultants, are extremely busy. So sometimes it's really hard to like have those reschedules and all of that done. So make sure that you have a clear understanding with your prospective loctician as far as the estimated arrival times, if there is a late fee, if there is a consultation fee. Really making sure that you understand all of the nuances when it comes to the business side of how they are conducting their Sister Lock business, because everyone is different. All right, so also know as well, will you get reminders, right? Will you get a text reminder? Will you get, a phone call reminder? Do you need to put your appointments in your phone? How is that scheduling part going when it comes to your consultations and even with your follow-ups? Like, how often are you doing your follow-ups? Okay, so make sure that during your consultation, think about where you actually want to get your hair done at, right? Because I know for me, location wasn't a thing. I didn't mind going to my loctician home because at the time when I first got my locks installed, she told me, "Hey, I am doing locks inside of my home right now." Excuse me, it is like extremely windy out here. Jeez. But my first loctician, she told me, she said, "Hey, I am working out of my home right now. Do you mind coming to my home, because I don't have a shop?" So for me, that wasn't the determining factor for me. With me, the first time, well, all of my locticians are like they're cosmetologists. So at the time, she said it was during COVID or something, and I don't know, but But during that time though, like that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I chose my loctician because I wanted her, and I believe it was during COVID in 2020. Yeah, it was during 2020. It was in COVID, and like everybody was shut down, and she was like, if you want your locks, you gonna get them done. You gonna get them done at my house. And I said, okay, right? So that was my experience. All right, so also make sure that you talk about the conditions of your hair. Now, this is so important when talking about the conditions of your hair, because everyone's hair is different, everyone's hair texture is different, and everyone's scalp is different, right? And with me, I do have some clients that I've worked with, and I have noticed that everyone's hair texture and everything is different. So make sure that you have that conversation with your loctician so that you can understand if locks are actually for you. Because to be honest, from my experience, everybody's hair is not healthy enough for locks. So if you have problems like alopecia, if you have problems such as like maybe balding or something like that, make sure that you talk to your consultant to see what they would suggest. And also too, sometimes it's also recommended to go to a dermatologist as well to see the conditions of your scalp, right? Especially if you know that you have underlying issues and stuff. Having these conversations with your loctician will also help determine what should be the next steps in determining if you should get locks or not. All right, so that brings me to the next thing, right? Assessing like your hair, your scalp, the texture of your hair, and all of that. Make sure that they are doing that, right? Because I know when I have done like sister locks, I would not do locks on anybody unless they came and I had a consultation with them, and I was actually able to go through their hair and their scalp and their texture and all. So make sure that that person that you are trusting to do your hair. Now, this is a suggestion. This is not to say that, you know, this is the here all be all, but these are some of the things that I would suggest for you to consider when you are doing your consultations, right? So make sure that, you know, like that they can go through your hair and kind of just see what your hair conditions are, because again, everybody is different. All right, so when it comes to like choosing your lock size, now this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but I would say that my locks are not going to look like your locks, and your locks are not going to look like my locks, because the thickness of our hair or the type of hair that we have or our curl patterns are always different. Because I totally love my sister's, my older sister locks, but her hair is so thick, her hair is so full, and her lock size are also different. So even with sister locks, we do have like a lock it's like a lock little sheet that they give us, that we should use it as a guide as far as how big or how small the locks are. So just know that everybody's locks aren't going to look the same, right? I know with me experiencing like postpartum, me having a baby, some of the things that kind of just contributed to the health of my hair was really postpartum. I'm not gonna say I had postpartum depression, but I probably did. Like, it was a lot of stuff that was going on, the color and all of that. All of these things have an impact on the size of your locks once you get them installed. So, you know, depending on your loctician, they may see that certain locks in certain areas may need to be a little bigger in certain areas, or they may have to combine certain locks. I know that has happened with me, having to combine certain locks, because over time the hair does, or my hair has changed once I got locks. So my loctician saw the need to combine certain locks in certain areas, especially in those like really, really tender areas around my edges. So think about that as well, right? All right. The next thing that you should do is regular maintenance. Now, this brings me back to the point of how far do you live or do you work from your loctician? Because with me, I travel an hour. So, well, 2 hours total, right? So I normally do not cancel my appointments. I don't reschedule my appointments because the commute is so far. So a lot of times with locticians, the schedules are really, really tight. I know with every loctician I've had, and I've had two thus far, it was hard for me to get an appointment or reschedule an appointment. So it's almost like once you have an appointment, that's your appointment. Once you have a time, that is your time, right? So their schedules are not flexible because with Sister Locks, like, everybody's faithful. It's not like how it is, no shade that I'm throwing at anyone, but it's not like how it is with braids or whatever. You know, like if you get your braids, you could keep your braids in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then you could kind of just come back whenever you want to. That same system is not the same with Sister Locks. Once you establish a schedule, I would highly suggest that you stick with that schedule. And then that way, if you know that your appointment is every 4 weeks, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, go to your appointments, because the longer you take from your appointments, the longer it may be for that retightening. So I know for me, from personal experience as being a Sister Lock trainee, I hate I hate if there is ever a time where we go over like that 4 to 6 week mark, because it takes longer, right? So just making sure that you are keeping up with your appointments. If you can't go, make sure that you let them know, and also respect your consultant's time as well. Like, time is money, money is time, and also time is energy as well, right? So it may take them a little bit longer if you go past that 4 to 6 weeks. So please make sure that when you are deciding with Sister Locks that it is a commitment. So make sure that you stick with that commitment. All right. When it comes to finding the right loctician, now everybody's different. For me, certain things that I wanted, because I knew that I wanted color, I chose the loctician based on if she was a cosmetologist or not, and that was only because I wanted somebody to apply color to my hair. Now, I've always been a person that I've loved color. Color was the worst mistake that I've done with my locks, and I always talk about that. However, that was my deal breaker for me because I was looking for that type of stylist. I also wanted someone who was able to give recommendations when needed, and also to really like just kind of just be that support. So for me, that was my personal preference. I also wanted someone that I knew that was consistent with their schedule, right? So versus me, and I'm also might be talking about myself, right? But with me, I work full time, right? So I make sure that everyone that comes to me, that they understand that I work full time and that I do not do Sister Locks full time. So when you come to me, just know that, hey, we're going to just work according to our schedules, but I do not do this full time. And I make sure that I let my clients or prospective clients understand that, right? I also let them know I am not a professional cosmetologist. I just went to the Sister Lock class. This is my certification. So a lot of times with my clients, I am so honest, and myself being a lock trainee, I also provide pictures and videos and all of that to show them that yes, I have done locks before. So making sure that you are viewing your loctician's work, if they have any examples, if they have anything that they've done before. I know for me, I stalked my loctician's Instagram. Like, I looked at all of her pictures, all of her videos, everything that she had at the time. And when I got my locks at the time, there wasn't as much information as it is today. So being able to go on her Instagram, talking to her, even like the response times and all of that, all of those things mattered when it came to looking for a loctician, because I wanted to make sure that I was choosing the right one. Also, choosing a person that my personality aligns with their personality, because you're going to be sitting in a chair for like hours at a time. So you don't want somebody doing your hair that you don't connect with or that you don't like. What you mean? Like, personality is everything, right? So when it came to choosing my locks, choosing my loctician, I looked at all of those things. Are you a cosmetologist? Or if you aren't a cosmetologist, then what are your credentials? Let me see your photos if you have any, right? What is the price? Making sure, and not just the price, but also what are the payment options as well. So you want to make sure you have a clear understanding before you make this investment, right? All right. So the next thing that you should do is find some support or talk to someone who also has sister locks. Or if you don't do that as well, make sure that you subscribe to like YouTube channels and stuff, because there's so much information that is out there, and everybody's perspective is also different as well when it comes to locks. Like some people are saying, well, should I get tiny locks? Should I get micro locks? Should I get two-strand locks, braided locks, sister locks, traditional locks? There is so much unique information out there. So when you are choosing your locks, make sure that you choose something that fits you. I chose sister locks because I'm like, you know what? This fits my personality, right? Because a lot of times I would tell people, hey, you should consider sister locks. And they would tell me in response, I like to switch my hair up. Well, you can always switch your hair up with locks. Like I wear different styles all of the time, and I love that it's my hair, right? So when you are getting in those lock communities, right, following certain pages, looking at certain styles, make sure that you are doing those things and educating yourself. If you see a beautiful sister with sister locks, have a conversation, girl. Say, hey, can you tell me about your locks? Where do you get your locks done at? Ask those questions, because we like a conversation, okay? And look, hair blowing in the wind. Girlfriend, yes, sister locks do blow in the wind. Okay. So making sure that you are having these conversations about locks. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Okay. When it also comes to the pricing of locks, everyone's pricing is different when it comes to locks. So have a clear understanding of what your loctician charges. What are the payment options, if there are any? Is there a deposit? How much are we paying for the locks? Now, when I pay for my locks, I think I paid like $800, but that was like 8 or 9 years ago, right? Now the prices are totally different when it comes to locks. So make sure that you understand what the pricing is. And also, this is not just a price. Like you are not only just investing in yourself, but I want you to also think about the stylist as well, y'all. Like, to be honest, the stylists stand up for hours at a time. Like, I'm not even a full-time stylist, but when I do locks, I be tired. Like your girl be aching and paining. And I asked my loctician the other day, I said, girl, can you tell me what are you doing to make sure that your body is healing? Because it's a lot standing up all of those hours at a time. And if you are a loctician, then put in the comments below, say yes, amen, because they stand for hours at a time. So you need back support, you need the right shoes, you need the right compression socks, you even need, like, some of them have like cushion like under their spots. I don't even know what they're called. You may need breaks. Like, it's a lot. So when you are investing in your hair, it's not only just investing in your hair, but you're also investing in that person. You're trusting them to do your hair. So make sure that you use all of these things that I talk about to make sure that you are making the right choices when it comes to your hair. And also appreciate that sister locks, or locks period, y'all, it's so hard to find a real woman. And I don't say that like a real woman, but it is really hard to find women that are real nowadays. So if you rocking your real hair, your real nails, your real skin, well, not real skin, but real hair, real nails, real lashes, like, real women are a rare commodity nowadays, because it's so many women that resort to the social norm. So when you do decide to get your locks, just know that you are taking pride in who you are, right? You are taking pride in your hair. You're also taking pride in the lock community, because we need that support. We need other women to say, you know what? I am going to embrace the uniqueness of my look, and this is my decision. And if you don't like it, oh well. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for viewing this video. If you have any questions or any suggestions on the type of content that I should post, make sure that you leave a comment below. And I appreciate you all so much for just joining the community and just being here and embracing this lock journey with me. Okay, so thank you again, and I'll talk to you the next time. Bye bye.